Hello, everyone. This is a podcast Mike's, a VGC podcast, except not really. I am your host, Zeke, and I am here with...
Charisma or Tyson.
Alex or Azlite.
Sven, or just Sven.
Semper.
Yep, that's us for episode 1. We don't really have like a dedicated cast that will be here every episode, so bear with us. Greg. And since this is not really a VGC podcast, we're gonna have some VGC topics, and then sometimes we'll just be saying random nonsense. But for today, our two topics to stay on brand will be the IC, which is going on this weekend, and EUIC, which will be next weekend, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I think it is this
Yeah, but it's the upcoming weekend. Yeah, it starts on Friday.
Which is really funny because like we've had back-to-back events. I feel like for a while now.
Yeah, it's gonna be a stacked month.
Yeah, it's been insanely stacked. We had Scarlet, and then we had Fort Wayne, and then now we have EUIC. We had like what, a week break?
Well, not really, because we have the IC this weekend.
Yeah, true.
And then I think there's something after EUIC.
There's another IC.
The other IC,
after.
yeah, that's
it.
Yeah.
It's like April, at least for the US, doesn't have any regionals.
Yeah.
Not after Fort Wayne.
We get a break.
Yeah. And then what is Worlds again?
Worlds is in August.
It's August.
So the timeline is like super like scrunched. Everything's all close together and stuff.
Yeah.
Crazy to think about.
With NAIC, you have like more NA regionals. I know from Europe, you will have Turin special event, Malmo, and I think that's it.
Yeah, so the IC is this weekend, or Global Challenge as it's now called apparently, but I'm just used to calling it the IC.
We all call
it. Why did they switch it to the Global Challenge? Like, what is the idea?
It sounds like people are saying, "Oh, I did so bad in the group chat." Like,
yeah.
That's what I've been reading it as well. But like, why do they start calling it the Global Challenge? Like, is this?
Yeah, you have some people calling it the IC, some people calling it the Global Challenge. They kind of did the same with like, instead of naming it Series 3, they thought, oh, well, let's just rename it to Regulations. So now we're playing Regulation C instead of Series 3.
Yeah,
which is weird.
And there's like a Battle Stadium. I think, is it still called Battle Stadium, or does it have a different name?
It's still Battle Stadium.
It's Battle Stadium.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But yeah, the IC. We all played in it. We all did.
I didn't.
Different degrees of. Oh, you didn't?
I didn't want to go mad.
Oh, okay. Well, you're smart.
Yeah.
Mostly because I didn't really have time. But I'll just say because I didn't want to get mad.
Yeah, I think the person who did the best in the call is probably Sempra.
Oh yeah.
Or Alex. Alex, you might have done.
I think it's either me or Sempra because I'm like 17-14 on one card. So
I'm 17-30 right now, but I'm done all my games still.
Yeah.
I think I'm ending 1650. It was not a fun run. Like, I do not miss best of one. Like, I think starting the season, like in Sword and Shield, like when we had when we started off with open sheet and the meta built around that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's fact though. I think it would have been completely fine if we started open team sheet or a close team sheet, but because this is a first close team sheet event ever, everyone's just running gimmicks.
Mm-hmm. I've heard so many horror stories about like stupid mouse ape sets. Like someone's guy was like Scarf mouse ape.
Yeah.
There's Scarf Final Gambit, or like Scarf mouse hold like tricking.
Yeah.
Like it is crazy.
Like if we started off with that, like I'm sure if we had closed sheet like mouse ape stuff, like this is such a like prominent point of discussion, but like if we started off with like the mouse ape stuff, I'm sure someone would have found out like all 5 of the different sets and we would be used to it. Just like how Grimmsnarl and like Sword and Shield would have like 3 main priority sets that would like be like, it would have like screens, the trick stuff, like the Thunder Wave, or like
Sucker
different
Punch.
Yeah, like Sucker Punch, like small like different changes like that like would be a lot more apparent. But because we play open sheets and there's such a standard, when we switch over to closed sheets and best of one, it's just that feels like a free for all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really annoying, especially there's a lot of variance, especially with like Terra too, right? So
and Terra makes it even crazier because they could just tech on Terra Fairy, and because they don't want to die to, I don't know, whatever.
To me, when I looked at the IC, it sort of felt like, I don't know if you've ever played in like a Mons draft league. instead of like a team draft league where you just draft mons and then you run gimmicky stuff. It felt more like this because in those kind of tournaments, you are playing weird shit and you're playing against weird shit as well. And that's kind of what's happening now as well in the IC. You're playing against stuff that you normally don't expect to play in open sheet. Because, for example, with the mouse ape, I was going to run, like, if I was going to play in the IC, I was probably going to run a legit mouse ape team, but with Scarf Ape, and then Terra normal population bomb Whitelands Mousehold, because people are just so used to the idea that if you see a legit mouse ape comp, when it makes sense, that it's not going to be Scarf Final Gambit with an offensive Mousehold. You just expect it to be support with beat up stuff.
Yeah, speaking of, like, imposter cores, I guess I like to call it that. Like, I've also seen people do stuff with, like, Nails' team from Fort Wayne, but they put a Tatsugiri on it and they made it look like a legit Dondozo team, but it's not. They just lead Tinglu, Dondozo, and they click Yon Stealth Rocks.
Yeah,
I think the worst defender is Chi Fluttermane. You cannot.
That team is so toxic.
You cannot expect what's on there. Like, it's just.
Oh no, you can't. You just guess. That's it.
Like, Chiyu especially has so many sets. Like, okay, Fluttermane, you could either see the booster item, right, or you find out that it's like specs or something. Like, that's a little bit more obvious because Fluttermanes are only built a certain way. But Chiyu, you can have it super bulky AV. You could have Grass Terror with like Lefty's Nasty Plot. You could run specs. You can run Scarf. And how you approach all of those, depending on your team, is super different, which is really, really frustrating to play against sometimes. I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can have the most like crackhead shit ever that like is only meant for close team shit that can just win you games on turn one because people just don't expect it at all.
Yeah. And like there is an argument to be had, right, where it's like, oh, just play better than, I guess. But there's some of these comps is like you can only play so well.
Yeah, it's literally at some point it just comes down to guessing. Like,
yeah.
No, you're gonna have games where you can play as well as you can, but then they reveal something off the walls that how was I supposed to know that? And you just
exactly.
lose.
I don't know if any of you guys have noticed this, but because of the IC, ladder has become complete useless because everyone is testing for the IC. That can hurt if you like don't have like people to play best of threes with, and your prep is only reliant on ladder. Where if you wanted to practice this past week, it was kind of just useless because you would only play Yank, and that's basically it on the ladder because of the IC. Which
I think that's super interesting though, like the idea of like best of one practice. Like, I mean, because I'm sure all of us here we run best of threes. We're able to run best of threes, but there are people out there, like, this is such a weird thought, but like people are out there and they run like just ladder. Like there are people I've sat down like across at a regional and they're like how was prep or whatever, and they're like, yeah, I laddered a bunch on Showdown. And I'm like, no way. Like that's I don't know, that's such a foreign concept because the main tournament itself is a best of three. Playing a just ladder, like even just Showdown, even in-game ladder, which I think is worse, but like both of them together or like alone are crazy thoughts to me.
We have to like consider not everyone has like groups to like play with.
So
it's like, all right, I just have Showdown, so I guess I'll just spam games on there, and that'll be my prep.
Yeah, that's also a reason why I'm a big fan of like team tournament online leagues. Not only I think it's very fun to play, but you also have so many just teammates that are actually able to help you with just best of three practice in general, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you don't have like anyone else, that's a good resource. If you're able to get like into like a draft team and ask people there for sets, that's always nice. If they actually respond.
Yeah.
Sure.
Thank you, Blizzards, for being like that. Always, people are always doing best of threes, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've had my fair share of like leagues where it's a bit more dead. It's kind of unfortunate.
The last time I saw you play was like, I think you got drafted for the mid-season MPA last season as well. You went with Mike, actually, I think. And then I got drafted for Cruisers, and you got drafted for United, was it?
Yeah, last season.
In the mid-season, and I don't know if you have played any after.
I played one game, and it was the match that eliminated us from playoffs. like the potential of making playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's rough.
I don't count that MPA season.
I mean, for me neither. This year is mine kind of then like real season.
Talking about, I don't think I did that bad.
Oh, well, actually, talking about the United, we're in the final week of the regular season, and United are playing the Monarchs. The score is 4-3 for the Monarchs, and if United lose their last set, they will get relegated from MPA.
Oh.
And I think it is Shazang, the one who won the regional last season with Evildon versus Techno Z for United. So that's a relegation match, which is very hype, I think.
Like, I'm not as invested in like the team stuff, but like I can agree that they're super helpful. But I feel like sometimes, like you guys were talking about, like just not being included, like it's very it's very team dependent, right? Because some teams, like, they're the best at buddies, and then others, they're just a bunch of players that are they're just gonna eventually pick out or whatever. So it's like super give or take, like which
the experience can
help.
vary all over the place. It can be like really well, like everyone's knows each other, they're always talking, they're always playing, and sometimes it's just, oh hi, yeah, let's just run best of 3 because of this match coming up. All right, thank you, bye.
Like I've had experiences before where I'll have a match that week, and then I'll be like, yo, who wants to run games? Or like, yo, what's my opponent running? And then the day of, it's like, what are you running, man? Like, what? Do you know what your opponent's running? You knew this? Like, where were you? Like, and I was like, dude, where have you been this entire week?
Yeah, I can relate.
Going back to the IC, though, I think it'd be fun to talk a bit about the guy with the Umbrian picture who was rank 1, actually, who showed up out of nowhere.
Yeah, what was their tag? It's like
I would have to look into that. See if I can find it.
They were just on my page.
I think I can find it real quick. Nasri VGC.
Interesting.
Oh, I've heard that name before.
Yeah, but so for context for anyone listening in, this person, they made a new Twitter, and they posted that they were number 2, I believe, on ladder. Just casually dropping that they have played the IC and that they are an insanely high rank. It's his first official competition ever. Oh, they're actually number 1. Yeah, and they're at 1847. And that's 40 out of their 45 games, which is
I think insane. He has played a bit more games now or not. As far as I know, he hasn't played any more games. I think it's funny because I think when I checked, he had like 3 followers, and now he has 165 already. Going crazy, and even people like Cybertron are responding to it. The man is having the best day of his life.
Wait, Cybertron responded to it?
Yep.
Yeah, he just congrats, really impressive on his tweet of first official competition ever. I mean, it's cool though. Like, you've seen it a lot this season. Of course, we have Senpai in here, and then we have Justin Tang in our group as well, who just showed up out of nowhere and then won a regional, and for Justin Tang, even 2 regionals.
Yeah,
which is crazy. I think it's part of that's also had to do with like open team sheet. I think that's a big factor as well. I don't know how you think about it.
Yeah, it's like, I think open team sheet makes the playing field so much more even.
Yeah,
I think there's that, and there's just so much information nowadays that like there's really no excuse for you to show up at a regional and like bring some crappy team.
That's fact though. I think
even if it's your first tournament, like, because there's so much information, it's like, okay, you can at least have an idea of what's meta, and sure, you might not do well, but at least you know what's going on. Like, compare that to before, because I've been playing for so long. Like, before, I would always face, like, for the first couple of rounds, some crappy in-game team kind of thing. People that don't really know what's going on. But now, pretty much everyone that shows up at least knows what's meta, what to do, like how to train your mons.
Yeah. Even if it's like a rental off of like Cybertron's channel, like you said, there's so much information, and outside of the open team sheet, just to reiterate what you said, but the fact that there's like the PokePaste thing that we got in Sword and Shield, there's rentals being posted on Cybertron's channel, Wolfie is bigger and promoting VGC more than ever, and there's new, and a good example of it, again, even going back to like Sunprint and Tang, like these newer players are able to just jump in with like minimal experience and win a regional.
Yeah.
I think part of the I think Addy talked about one sub too. It's like part of the reason is while it might be your first regional, it's not your first experience playing with competitive Pokemon. Like MPA is a good example. You guys were talking about that. I think it's hard to get an MPA team now, but the fact is it's not impossible. And there's other like Smogon, for example, Smogon Tourist. It's still hard to go into a Winter League team, right? It wasn't hard.
Yeah, I think for you, doing like extremely well in Smogon helped you, I think, a lot to get into MPA.
But because like that just if you're a good player, it's not hard to do well. And then because a bad player is not going to win a regional, but a good player is going to do well in these online tours and then get recognized and then eventually do well at a regional, right? I think.
Yeah, it is a bit different though comparing team leagues to
but
to like tournaments, because you can sort of say for like team leagues, if you know your opponent has these kind of tendencies, I'm just gonna drop this matchup completely, focus on it. I'm gonna make my team a bit to counter my opponent's team, because you have, and then in IRLs if you do that, you'll probably get screwed over more, because you have some people who do extremely well at live events and are extremely good players. You would never doubt it for a second, but they a lot of the times in team tournaments they don't do as well.
Yeah,
because it
is a different atmosphere, I can say, but like it's not like this isn't Pokemon's a game where you will lose games, like you will lose a set. It's the best of the best will lose a set, and that doesn't mean they're still not like goats or they're not good at the game. Like they could not do well at a team thing and then like go 9-0 at an IRL event. And that's not to discredit their player or anything, but like they're still good. Like everyone will lose a game at one point. The top players lose games all the time. Like
because if I look at like the MPA, the standings, like the players who played like more than like 4 or 5 games, nobody is undefeated anymore. Even the likes where like when you have Snow who is 7-2, you have Maluka who is 6-3. Like even the best of the best, you will lose sometimes.
I mean, this is. No, go ahead, Zeke.
Yeah, Sempra brought up a point that I forgot to bring up about the thing about online tournaments, where I don't think people realize, like coming into the game nowadays, or even into like Sword and Shield, I don't think they realize just how like uncommon online tournaments were before. Where like now they're a dime a dozen. There's one like almost every day, every weekend. People can jump into that practice. And they'll show up to a regional, and it's their quote unquote their first tournament, but it's like their first official tournament. But they've been grinding the online scene for like weeks, months, years maybe at this point. And that's huge compared to before.
Yeah, I had that as well because I went to a few weeks back to Utrecht, my first IRL, but people were telling me it's gonna be like quite different how you play. It's gonna feel different, but when I played, like it didn't feel different to me than playing online at all. That just will depend per person, but for me I didn't feel a big difference from playing IRL and online. To me it was just the same. I just played the best of 3 and that's it.
Yeah, like actually playing your match, I don't think it's any different, but like the atmosphere surrounding it, that's where.
Yeah, that was way better though. I enjoyed it a lot. Sometimes just being able to look at your opponent's face. I mean, I had one round where one person, he was just staring at me the entire time, which was quite weird. Every time after he locked his move in, he would just stare at me, and I was like, "You good, bro?"
Can we talk about nodding aggressively?
Oh no, it wasn't. It wasn't aggressively. No, okay. This is not to blame on someone or one of my opponents. I just thought it was funny.
No, I'm just talking about in general, not your opponent.
Like general, like are you talking about like in the middle of a game, like if you're just vibing to music?
No. People who like every time they see a move go off, they like just nod their head.
Aggressively nod.
So aggressively. Like I'm one to have like a poker face. Like I don't really want to like give away what I'm trying to do based on my emotions with my opponents.
Yeah. There are sometimes like where I'll get like
off is fine. Yeah.
Like there are some moments where I'll nod my head because I'll be like, okay, yeah, I just got that turned so well. Yeah. Like I'm very ahead. I'll nod my head, but most of the time, like you said, I usually have a poker face. If I get crit, I like might relax my shoulders a little bit, but I'll hold my face, like I'll hold my posture.
Yeah, I had that first. That one guy, I was just pretty neutral against every time, but he was like, that guy was also like very nodding and just when something good happened for him, he was like getting very excited. And when it happened in game 3 for me, I was like, I'm gonna vibe with this, and I don't think he was very happy about it.
You have to though, right? Because it's like you said, it's like a poker face. It's especially in IRL, like reading your opponent like physically as well, like their body language is actually like I think it's actually a huge part of the game. And it's one thing like I suck at like online tours. Like I'll either go like 5-0 or I'll go like 1-2 drop because sometimes I'm just not physically there. Like if I'm in my chair in front of my computer playing Mons, I won't take it as seriously than if I just got off a flight, paid $70 and I'm sitting there at a regional. Like the atmosphere is just not the same.
Yeah, I can definitely relate with that. Like a lot of times in online tours, I just don't care enough, so I just play bad. It's like, oh, whatever.
That's true. I think if you make your practice worth it, it'll be worth it. I feel like a lot of people, including myself, just ignore the like almost don't try in the online competitions, and that's a bad mindset.
Yeah, because it seems so inconsequential because it's the opponent's not in front of you. Exactly. But when you do win your match and you sign that match slip, it sets good. In a lot. It feels good. It feels good, and like you're getting a physical like reward, if that makes sense. Like for actually winning the game. When you win an online game, you're sitting there for 30 minutes until the next round is up. You don't have friends to go walk to and talk about your previous round. Like you can hop on a Discord call, but like it's just not the same. And to be honest, that's one of my favorite part of the IRL competitions. Not only signing that match slip in front of my opponent, but like being able to talk to friends and stuff like that and have that atmosphere of like an actual competition.
No, you're completely right. And also the other thing about like I kind of dislike about online competitions and why I don't really do them as often anymore. It's like you just waste your whole day playing there on your computer.
Yeah, I got stuff to do.
Yeah, like I don't want to be doing that. And for okay, like yeah, it's good practice, but like
sometimes,
yeah. It's just like not. I feel like I'm just wasting time sometimes.
Yeah,
just be like me and start a tournament that starts at midnight your time, and then you make it to finals, and you play finals at 9 a.m.
Oh no!
I played
there
from midnight
are
to 9
some
a.m.
like adaptations that like some tour hosters have. Like I know Nino has done like best of 1 Swiss, which could be a talking point as well. Like they've done best of 1 Swiss and a best of 3 top cut, which is fine. Like I'm not there to like some people like mauled and they're like I want to play best of 3s all night, but again, like we all said, like there's just no time for that.
Most like, people are like adults,
yeah. They, like if you're a kid, sure, and you have the time. But there's different tours for that. So like if Nino decides to do best of 1, best of 3, there's 5. It's not like there's not 5 other tours where it's best of 3 Swiss. Like you can just play another tour, and people get really heated over that. But this is
if you don't like it, just don't play it.
Yeah, exactly.
And to be honest, this is another general question that I would ask the like the audience. But like for anyone who does go to like all these online tournaments, like genuinely, like no shade or anything, but like how do you do it? Like I'm like genuinely curious, like time management wise, like there have been cases where people have been like, yeah, I'm in college, I have like a 4.0 and I'm doing online tournaments every other like day. And I'm like, how do you do it? Like I want to learn something from you, genuinely, if you're able to do that. Like I want to learn your time management. Like that's so crazy to me.
If I have the time to play like these kind of bigger online tournaments, I do it, but a lot of the time I just don't have the time to play in my weekend to play 8 hours of months in a row, because that's just because let's say even with time zones and any tournament, it starts in the evening for Europe already. If it's in Europe time and it starts at like the middle of the day, then sometimes I'm just not able to play the first few rounds, and then it's like I just can't play it. So time management wise, it takes as we talked about, it takes your entire day, and just I don't know how people do it. I don't know,
just a lot of patience. I don't know. Or maybe they just have a really easy major. I don't know. It's like I can just like slide by in school and
making VGC a career, starting a Medify page.
Oh, let's not start.
Yeah,
let's not name any names.
I'm not naming anyone.
VGC is not a lifestyle.
VGC is not a lifestyle.
That should be the podcast slogan. VGC is not a lifestyle.
It is not. No. So we talk about other shit. Like it's. I think it's important too.
All we've been
for a
talking
few
about is
people.
VGC so far.
Yeah.
Well, that could be the segue into like a next segment that
Well,
like
we did
there-
start at wait before we like transition to something completely random. We did say we're going to talk about EUIC. So does anyone want to say anything about that? Because I really don't.
Smart money is Len.
No, we can't just steal the smart money.
Yes.
Yeah,
Money.
I have no smart money.
I had Len
do
too.
that.
I had Len too, actually.
Oh yeah.
There's no way
okay.
that he doesn't get shit.
Okay, well, all of you said Len. I was gonna say Len as well because Len has been on fire recently. Done really well in the IC. Thought I'd pick a runner-up. I'd probably pick one of the homies, of course.
Eric.
If you're real, you pick the
Definitely.
runner-up as Len because that guy.
Well, you
I'm just
you
kidding.
both already said Len.
I know. I'm just kidding. I think Len is crazy, and he's just bound for a ship at this point.
I think Paul has a good chance if he finds something. Mr. Chua himself.
If he finds something, yeah.
If he finds something, he did really, really well at Fort Wayne. You know, missed day 2, barely 9th, I think, before 8.
Yep.
It was 9.
Yeah.
He has a decent shot. I think he has a really good grasp on the format. If he finds a team.
Well, it's if he continues to use roaring mid, I'm not sure how well he'll do.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck roaring.
Sorry, Paul.
You can never count the one and only Wolfie Click out.
Yeah.
Is
Is
he
Wolfie
even
going?
going? I have no idea, actually.
I feel like he has not been to that many events this year.
Ah,
And by
yes.
not that many, I
yes,
feel like
yes.
not everyone.
I think he went to every NA regional almost, right?
Okay, I'm probably trolling that. Ignore
Well,
what I
he
said.
just hasn't caught any of them besides the one that he won.
No, he cut
Yeah, he cut another one.
Knoxville, I think.
Right.
He got top 8.
Interesting.
I can check that real quick in the meantime while it's all.
He's gone like first, top 8, top 16, top 16, top 16 this season.
Yeah, that's not bad. Like,
Yeah.
just so everyone knows, that's not bad by any means. Like, that is insane still. The consistency king.
He got 11th at San Diego is what I'm seeing here. This page isn't even like up to date. I was looking at Limitless. Let me go to Wikipedia.
I don't even think Wikipedia. I think that gets updated even less.
Wikipedia gets updated like every year.
Because I was looking at it for some other reason like the other night, and it was not updated like recently at all.
Oh yeah, no, it was updated after you won Orlando. That's what I see. But then the one before that says 2020 Collinsville Regionals, 2nd place.
Yes.
What?
That regional's never happening again, by the way. I've been told.
Wait, what is
Really?
happening?
Yeah.
I'm sorry for your loss, Alex.
It's like, well, Peoria's cool though. I like Peoria. So.
Oh yeah, you got 4th. It's 3rd of
I did. Yeah. I think they're gonna do it in Peoria from now on because the venue is too small, like for Collinsville. At least that's what I've been told. Yeah. Which is fine. Like I think it's way easier to like fly into Peoria. Maybe. I don't know. Don't quote me on that.
We can also no, that's too far in the future. I was gonna say EUIC kind of reminds me of like NAIC, and I'm thinking that it's at the same venue again, right?
In Ohio.
Columbus?
Yeah, in
Columbus.
shitty
Ohio.
Columbus.
Yeah,
It
it's
wasn't that bad. It was not.
okay. No. Okay, it's the problem with Columbus is like downtown, like by the venue, you just have the North Market, and like that's it. Like that's all you really do. Like unless you like bars and like going to bars and stuff, like then sure, like then you have something to do. But like that's not it.
Yeah, I that's fair.
Yeah.
But we won't stray off too far there. I wanted to bring it back and say that, like what we were trying to segue into before, that like VGC isn't a lifestyle. So even if you're going to all these events and stuff like that, like I think this is for me personally. I think a big part of the reason why I'm even able to like pay attention to the game and play the game at all is because I have other things going on. If I didn't, I feel like I would just burn out, like obsessing over the game. Like I feel like it's just such a again, this is for me, but it feels like a very unhealthy to obsess over the game. Even if this is not just Pokemon either, right? Like if I played like soccer or something, I would not be able to play soccer every day. I might be exercising almost daily, or I might be doing other things that like help towards my goal of soccer, but I would not be playing soccer every day.
Too much of anything is a bad thing, right?
Yeah.
It's good to diversify. Have multiple things to be working on, but like just don't.
I will say, like during COVID, when I picked up Yu-Gi-Oh while Series 6 was going on, and that was the best 2 months of my life.
Yeah, because
when I was not playing Pokemon, and that series was AIDS. So
nah, I'm the one person that will defend that format to an extent.
No,
me too. I like it from it a lot.
Just break your addiction from VGC. It's not healthy. That's
yeah,
it's just not healthy. And then do something else, even if it's playing another video game.
I think though.
I find it funny that like people like to just play Pokemon or like. Just
I don't know how people can. I don't even know how people can main VGC. Actually, that's
like,
all I know. But
you have a Switch. Do you have like any idea how many good games are on that console?
There are
like,
so many good games.
Like something else at least.
All right, all right. Let's go down the list. Name a game and talk about a game that you play that you've enjoyed that's not Pokemon.
Like recently, like a new
release, or just any game you played on the Switch.
On the Switch.
Yeah.
I want to name like something somewhat obscure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to name Mario or something. I'm literally.
No, that's fine. Like honestly, like what's your if you say your favorite game is Mario Odyssey, like no one's gonna like judge you for it.
That's a good ass game.
It's a good game.
It's my favorite Mario game.
Okay, so I play a lot of different games, but the game that I'm literally been playing the most recently is probably Engage, just because I like RPGs. And even though the story is like kind of trash, I'm a Fire Emblem fan. So I've been playing Engage. I haven't gotten the DLC yet, but I want to.
Yeah.
I heard it was super mid, but I'm probably gonna get it anyways. But it's that's just coping.
I like Fire Emblem. It's definitely been on my list to play, but I spent $60 instead on Pokemon Scarlet for the IC. So
yeah, that's on you.
See, you're addicted. You're addicted.
But I also need points to go to Japan, so then I can go buy Fire Emblem there or something.
For me, it has been Xenoblade. I kind of love it.
I love Xenoblade.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I need to jump on that.
I have not played 3 yet, but I played 1 and 2, and they're both very good.
3 is something else, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I've been slightly spoiled. I won't say anything, but like.
Yeah, I'm trying my hardest to not be spoiled. God damn,
it's so hard. It's so hard.
I mean, in some case you want to talk about it with people, but then you don't do it because you know they still have to play it or still want to play it. So you're not going to say anything because I don't want to ruin their experience.
So okay, I have my game. I played this like about a month ago. I've been meaning to like talk about it on Twitter, but I just never did. It's this like weird fucking visual novel game called AI the Somnian Files.
I've heard about that. Yeah.
Well, I like specifically pinged you, Alex, because you would probably like it.
Oh no, it's like, the Danganronpa. Yeah.
It's by Spike Chunsoft, so it's the same publisher as Danganronpa. The writer and director is the same person that did the Nonary games, so like 999, Virtue's Last Reward, and like I forgot the other one, but it's like a trilogy of like visual novel, like murder, like escape room games.
Oh, and, I love those kinds of games.
Yeah, you'll probably like this game. It's like a murder mystery, and fuck, dude, like it gets really goofy. So it's like Danganronpa in that way. It gets really goofy at times where you're just like laughing because it's like something stupid is going on.
Yeah.
But there were like multiple times in this game where I was like like straight up crying because it gets super real. Like it's actually a really well written game.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have a lot of like good characters. It's like really good moments. It's a great mystery from beginning to end. We're just like trying to like figure out, okay, is this the killer? Like, is this what's going on? And then like, there'll just be like another like curveball thrown at you. It's a really great game.
I love
if you like visual novels.
I like games with good stories. If like there's a game that doesn't have like a good story, but like RPGs, I will lose my interest very quick, and that's why I love like Xenoblade, The Witcher. You can even make an argument for Subnautica. It's not like very story based, but the story behind it is good, in my opinion. But I've also played games where the story was mid, and I just lost interest and never played it again.
Yeah. I'm definitely a fan of Fire Emblem Three Houses. I loved it.
Yes.
When I first got it.
Three Houses.
It's good. I thought the 3 branching stories was pretty fun. I was very surprised by some of the twists. As I was not spoiled, I went to that game completely blind, so that was really fun.
Good for you, because I did it,
yeah.
and I got spoiled on the Golden Deer route, and that was the one I was gonna play, and I was like, well, guess I'm going to start something else then, and try to forget it.
The final boss theme,
Yeah.
That's so good.
So good. And honestly, like, we could talk about that with the Engage too. Like, the story is completely different, and a lot of the people who started with Three Houses were like, wait, there's not branching paths every time. And Three Houses was such an oddity, and the Fire Emblem series that it's just people feel like they want to go back.
That's gonna be people like their first game was Pokemon game was Scarlet and Violet, and then like the next gen is gonna be like something completely different, like just back to like the one story.
Yeah,
it's like what happened here? Why did they go back, or what's going on? It's like, no, that was just the one time.
I know. Oh, you're good.
No, go ahead.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
I was gonna say, like, I can't even imagine telling like younger me, like, getting my copy of like Black and White. Yeah, in the future, Pokemon's gonna have like DLC, and then I'll be like, what? And they're like, yeah, they're gonna charge you extra money for like 2 side stories, and you're gonna have to pay to get your Pokemon back. Like, that's just there's so many things that Pokemon has evolved into now. That it's such good and bad. Like, I'm not even saying that's good or bad. I'm just saying, like, in general, that's such a strange thing to think about now that I'm paying for DLC in a Pokemon game.
I mean, I'd rather buy DLC than buy another $60 game.
True. I agree with that 100%.
None of you guys play PC games?
I don't really like to play games on my PC. It's usually just for work.
I have 4 games on my Switch, and they're all Pokemon.
No, addicted.
No, I don't even play on my Switch that much. But I play like R6, Rainbow Six, and like on my PC a lot. That's my main game.
I have so many games in general. If I just go on my Switch here, I have Pokemon Scarlet, Xenoblade 3, Mario Kart, Super Mario Maker, Xenoblade, another Xenoblade, Splatoon, Super Mario 3D All Stars, another Pokemon, Mario Odyssey, Pokemon Shining Pearl, Mario Rabbids, Rocket League, Stardew Valley, Portal Knights, Ultimate Chicken Horse, and Zelda. I have too much, and that's only my Switch.
Yeah, Zeke got me to play Danganronpa in 2021, and that was a good experience on PC. I played all 3, bought the bundle during the spring sale for like $20. It was a good time.
Did I? I feel like you were playing Danganronpa before I even really like talked to you.
Or maybe it was Justin. I don't remember. I'm talking about Burns.
Yeah, I think it was him.
Okay, it may have been him. I'm not.
Yeah, it was after.
Yeah. Another game I play, Ori and the Will of the Wisp, is really good. If any of you played that, it's a platformer.
Yeah, I've been meaning to play that. It got ported to Switch, and I just haven't gone around.
I finished Celeste last year. That was really good.
Oh, if Owen was here, he'd be talking about Celeste.
Yeah, Celeste is awesome. Also, Persona 4 Golden. I have not finished it, but it is a good game.
Yes, Persona 4. Persona 4 is very good.
I haven't played it, but I watched the anime, so I know.
That
not
as good.
I know. Actually, I enjoyed it, but yeah, I've been meaning to play it.
Not to gatekeep Persona. Not to be that guy.
I mean, I played Persona 5. I have Royal. I still haven't played it.
Anyone play Fall Guys? Fall Guys is fun.
I have it as well. I have it. It's fun. I haven't played it in ages, but when it just came out, I've played it quite a bit.
They have like crazy collabs for some reason. They had like a Nier Automata like crossover, like
Nier Automata.
Automata. Like how do they get that? Like,
because like Yoko Taro, who's like the director of that game, he just like collabs with everything. I think he's gone on record. It's like, yeah, they pay me for it. I don't care. It's more promotion for my game.
Yeah. I mean, and then like nowadays you have stuff like Eren Yeager in Attack or in
Fortnite.
So, like,
oh my god, we could like not to like to include what Sempro was saying too. Like the PC games, like I'm not gonna lie to you, this might be a hot take, but Fortnite is kind of fun. Like for as much as people shit on it, like Fortnite reminds me of like a lot of like older Minecraft stuff, like where you were like learning how to mod the game and stuff like that. Like the creative mode in Fortnite, there's literally like you could play a Call of Duty map now in the game, and it's just Fortnite mechanics instead. It's insane what people have done with the game.
The only thing my old roommate made me play Fortnite. I definitely enjoyed it. That was during. I don't know if they still have this, by the way. I've not touched the game in like a year. But I really enjoyed I like the gun mechanics. I do not like the building. I think the building's really lame.
Yeah, well, there is a no building mode now.
Like, they still have
in the game. Yeah.
Oh shit! All right, looks like we're queuing up together.
And it comes out actual.
Building was my specialty.
Whoa.
I mean, I was a PC. I was a Fortnite team.
Do you crank 90s, Sven?
I used to. Okay. I've played the game.
He said he's retired.
In a long time. But I used to play that game as the only game I played in like 2.5 years when it came out. Crazy.
So funny.
We just had someone join. We're talking about Fortnite in our VGC podcast. Just to catch you up.
Okay.
It's fun.
Shows us how professional we are.
Varun, have you played any?
Give a game recommendation that isn't Pokemon. That's kind of our topic right now.
Yeah.
Play Hollow Knight. That's like the other game.
Yes. Hollow Knight is a good one.
That game is actually goated.
Hollow Knight is so much fun. The aesthetic is also super nice, so it never gets old. And like the levels are super. Like the levels, like figuring out how to finish the levels is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just like traversing the world. It's very nice.
True.
It's a very good, nice, comfy game. It's on Switch. It's on multiple consoles. No excuse. It's pretty cheap. Support indie games, everyone.
Yeah, true. I think indie games are amazing right now. Like
there's a lot of hidden gems. You just have to look.
I hate going back to Nintendo every time, but like Nintendo's new initiative for like the Indie Fest and stuff like that is so cool. Like the fact that they're actually promoting small games like that is like super cool. And it's actually I forget what game it was. This is so bad for my point, but I forgot the game that it got me on, but it actually got me to play like an indie game, and I was like, oh, this is not as bad as I thought it was. This is like actually fun.
Has anyone played Omori?
Yes. Oh my god, I could talk about Omori for hours.
I need to as well.
That game made me cry. It's so good. I got it on my Switch. I played it on the bus ride to Columbus.
Is it long?
It is not that long. If you are exploring for everything, it might take a little long, but a playthrough will not take you more. Like if you sit down and actually play, it will not take you more than.
I've never even heard of this game.
It's a bit of a psychological horror. It wasn't indie. There's actually a crazy backstory on it. Like it was originally supposed to release like all the way in 2016, but it released very recently, I think in 2021. And Amocat, like the publisher, was a college student, and they were an artist, I believe. And they had this idea for a game. They used to design like merch and stuff like that, but they had this idea for a game, and they downloaded RPG Maker. And they got people for it, and it just took longer than they thought. And then they came out with Omori. And it is a beautiful game. It has like the pixel, it gives very Earthbound vibes. But it is a psychological horror, so do not be baited by the cutesy look. There are definitely some parts that like made me like, whoa. And then the ending of the game was like a double whoa. Like this is a lot deeper than I thought it was.
I watched a review of it, and then he was like, all right, I'm going to talk about spoilers, so please, if you want to play it, just stop watching.
Do not spoil yourself.
Yeah, everything he had set up until that point, I was like, okay, I'm definitely going to play this. So I just haven't done so yet.
Speaking of Earthbound-esque games, or I guess this is literally Earthbound, but like Mother 3 is really good.
Yes.
I don't know if anyone's ever played it.
I still haven't beaten it, but it's a classic.
I did. It's amazing. It's really unfortunate they're never going to port it, and you have to play it on an emulator.
We will never get a port.
Infamously never brought over Mother 3.
It's never happening.
Reggie has literally killed a man because they asked him about it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm referencing?
Reggie?
No.
Reggie. Yeah. It's like what...
Reggie's just trying to save face. Like he's already like...
No, like it was that one like It was like for E3 like several years ago.
That joke. Yeah, no,
yeah,
that's funny.
A bit.
Yeah. They made a really funny bit about it.
Yeah, they're aware and they still won't.
They won't do it. I don't think it monetarily makes sense for them. Like, I don't know. I think it'll sell well, but like not as well as they want it to.
Yeah.
It's like a loud minority.
Mm-hmm. A very loud minority.
Go play Mario 3, people.
Yeah.
I never played it, but it looks good. I know a bit about it.
Mm-hmm. I made Lucas in Smash, not because of Mother 3. I've made him before. Okay.
I've made it Incineroar because I like Pokemon.
Okay. I like clicking Parting Shot and Fake Out. And
but I can do it in Smash now, and I can Darkest Lariat.
Doesn't he get like no, not all of his moves are like based on Pokemon, right? Like,
no, they're not. They're wrestler moves.
Yeah,
but it's still funny to have the Incineroar man
yeah. Speaking, who remaining in Smash League?
I'm a Pikachu main.
Okay.
See, it's the Pokemon. It's always going to be the Pokemon.
These are so. I've never made a Pokemon. Like I think they're all like.
That's cat.
Okay, no. I did play Pichu when it was good, so that's about it.
See?
Yeah, but then they made Pichu as big as Pikachu, and like, what's the point? Like,
bro,
it's so bad. I remember watching like Void play Pichu. Like that looks so cool.
I miss being able to watch like Smash content. I feel like a lot of the Smash stuff has been ruined for me. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm right there with you. Like
the hype was there when the game first came out, but then it just kind of died.
Not like that, and then like a lot of the creators are just like bad people. Like they've just become like come out as like just awful people.
I followed like Smash 4 competitively like a lot, and then when Ultimate, with him, and then Ultimate came out, and I started like not really paying as much attention, and then when all of that stuff came out, even though it's like since then it wasn't all true, but it just ruined it for me. It's like I just do not care about competitive Smash anymore.
Like, do not meet your heroes.
I remember D1. He was the commentator, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, he commentated Pokken before. I remember he was like at 2016 Nats. He was commentating Pokken, and I saw him walk by, and I wanted to like go up to him and was like, "Hey, I like your commentary in Smash or whatever." And I didn't because I'm a shy guy. And in retrospect, I'm glad I didn't say anything because I got ruined.
Forget about it.
Like the whole commentary thing too. Like it's like a lot of the people in the Smash scene as well. Like the game has gone down. Like they banned Steve recently. Like they've banned a character. So like something like that's such an insane.
Steve is so cool. That's controversial, but Steve is very cool.
Like my take on that. This is another hot take, but like I don't think you should be banning characters in the game. Like he could be busted all he wants, but like I don't know, just play better.
I think if there's like something generally broken with him, though, that's like a developer thing. That should be.
Yeah, like if there's a glitch in the game, like a groundbreaking glitch, but these aren't glitches. These are players discovering mechanics that like work well.
It's like if people thought like Palkia Kali Ice was like too toxic or something. It's like they got that banned. Yeah,
like they never banned Smeargle. I know they got close to it, but they never did.
Basically banned Dark Void, right?
Yeah.
They just indirectly. You can't use it.
Yeah, I guess the difference, right, is that in Smash is they're literally not getting a next game. So it's a lot harder to say, oh, they'll buff it in the next game or they'll nerf it in the next game when they literally aren't getting another game.
Well, I mean, we don't know that for sure, but like I
am along the belief like there are some people who are coping and like, yeah, they're gonna come out with like another game. I genuinely don't think they're gonna come out with another Smash game. At least not
for a while.
Not in a long time. Like it'll be 10 years.
It's always been one per console cycle. So whenever the next console comes out, there'll be another Smash.
Yeah, and if we end up getting like a Switch 2 or something, like I don't think we're getting a Smash game for that.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that.
I'd be very surprised if we did.
Well, Sakurai's gone on record as like he doesn't want to work on Smash anymore, right? Like
he said it'd be a new director, and they'd also have to cut characters from this game. Like
Smash Ultimate is like
it is the ultimate. There is the reason why it's called the ultimate.
It's a special occasion. Enjoy it while it lasts, but moving forward, don't expect the same again.
We will not be getting a Steve reveal every year, as hype as that was. I remember being hyped that Joker was in the game. Like that was the E3 presentation. Seeing the card
Game Awards.
The Game Awards. Yeah, no, that was the day before the game came out too. Like it was awesome.
Yeah, like that was such a cool reveal. Yeah. And like not even being a Persona fan like that, but seeing just how hyped the community was to see this character introduced and seeing like this new mechanic was insane. And then Thief, Banjo-Kazooie, literally, even if it's not Master Chief, like all the characters they added, even some like I'm an ARMS fan, but like even someone like Min Min being added to the game was just like super, super cool to see.
I was very happy when the very first like main Ultimate trailer and like they showed off Snake.
Yeah,
he's like my other main and like Brawl, and I'm a big Metal Gear fan. I was like crying, bro. I was so happy to see him back.
Yeah, like stuff like that is so cool.
I think that's just the magic of like Smash, right? In general.
Yeah,
it's a very special series.
For sure.
All right, we're waiting for is Owen here?
Yeah, we're waiting on someone else to join. We've been recording, I think, for a little under an hour.
Yeah.
When do you want to do the cutoff?
I was thinking we would record for about like an hour and a half max, somewhere in that ballpark.
Yeah, it's not like we're forcing conversation or anything, but there is a good point to cut it off. So it is a cohesive episode.
We still haven't talked about the EUIC at all. Almost.
We gave smart money.
Yeah.
Smart money.
We'll come up with another name.
Said Len.
Oh, my smart money's on Eric Rios.
I said Eric Rios is runner-up.
Nah, bro.
Big if true.
You got it reversed. You got it reversed there.
You think Len's runner-up?
Yes, again for the third
Paul
time.
is winning it all.
Paul?
Paul
Mr.
is winning it all.
Paul will win if he does not lock Rorin bit.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I still think Dragonite or Dragapult are better on slot.
We had a little conversation, sort of like top conversation about it today in the channel.
What about Roaring Moon?
Yeah, about like Dragonite versus Roaring Moon, where they said, well, it's nice having a strong flying type, and I was like, you have Dragonite, and then they said Terra normal. I think booster energy acrobatics is still stronger at -1 than a Choice Bandit. No, not even Terra Blast.
Yeah, but who's running Aerial Ace? Like,
yeah, Aerial Ace is bad.
Don't use it. Don't use Aerial Ace.
It's okay. It's not the worst thing in the world.
Nah, if you're using like Aerial Ace Dragon, you're a little bitch.
Whoa,
Yeah,
whoa.
Like run Terra Blast, be a big boy, or like just run Terra Normal.
Yeah,
run,
or just
run Facade,
normal.
Extreme Speed, Terra Blast, and a Stomping Tantrum. GG's.
It's just Facade is so good.
Don't run Facade with Terra Flying. I think that's bad. I think
No, Facade with Terra Normal.
Oh yeah, Terra Normal for sure. That makes sense.
I think like for like a Terra Flying set, you either go like just a Lumber, you have 200 Protect, or you go Bandit with probably like Extreme Speed, Extreme Speed, Terra Blast, and you have like options for Low Kick, Stomping Tantrum, Outrage, Dragon Claw, do whatever you like.
Yeah, I think those are all good options.
And
Hello,
I think
Owen.
the person we were waiting for is here.
Hi, Owen.
Hi, Alan.
Hi, I'm here.
You missed it. We were talking about Celeste.
Well, you like brought it up for like a couple seconds.
I know.
Like
We're giving
the one
game
thing I can talk
recommendations.
about. What a shame.
It's the Owen game. Owen loves Celeste.
It is the Owen game.
Celeste is a
Owen has
fantastic
another
game.
game,
Yes.
but I don't think you should recommend that. If he does, then we'll kick him
Oh
out.
no! I know what you mean.
I have a few other games that I could recommend that aren't that one.
His game in mind was League of Legends.
Disgusting.
I feel it gets a lot worse.
Disgusting.
You see how people react to it? That says enough about how the people here think about League of Legends.
I am indifferent, but I'll never play it. Like,
It's not that bad, but I still don't recommend it.
I have a problem with Duel Links. I do not need another problem.
I have had more fun playing TFT recently. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have enjoyed Teamfight Tactics a lot.
TFT is fun. I think the main difference between TFT and League is that TFT does not have the massive knowledge floor to playing it and having fun.
Yeah, I just put the things that match up and have the same abilities, and I watch them do the battling for me.
Yes.
Oh, and would you like to give a recommendation before we continue our VG discussion?
Sure. Nier Automata, fantastic game.
Highly recommend. I brought up earlier, and I did wanted to like add to it because it's one of my favorite games ever.
It's so good.
It's really fucking good.
Yeah. I mean, the gameplay, awesome. Graphics, very good. The storyline is fun, but also the soundtrack is genuinely one of the best. It is so good.
It is the best part about that game.
Who worked on it again? I know it's someone prominent.
The composer, I do not know by name.
I'll look it up 1 sec.
I just know the director, Yoko Taro, because he's an interesting character.
Yeah.
The composers, Keiichi Okabe, Kaz, and Keigo Hoashi. No idea who any of those are, but they did a great job.
They did a fantastic job.
That's my goat.
Go play Nier Automata, people.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing playing Pokemon Violet? Shiny hunting? Fuck out.
Yes.
Don't play an actual good game, okay? That'll make you feel something.
I don't want to hate on people who shiny hunt or stream shiny hunting, but like, what are you doing?
I can't watch it.
What are you doing? Like, it's such a waste of time.
Can anyone here honestly say they watch shiny hunters?
I've shiny hunted twice ever in my life, and I don't want to do it again.
I'm not talking about shiny hunting yourself. I'm talking about watching. Like, who here clicks a Twitch stream and they say 24/7 live score bunny 10,000 eggs in shiny hunt stream? Like, who is clicking on this? These people have like 3,000 viewers, by the way. Like,
I enjoy shiny hunting myself.
Well, I think sometimes they are if they're a person who is like very outgoing.
It's just the VGC equivalent of a hot tub stream. So
basically, yeah.
That's so funny.
I think personally as VGC players, like I guess you could argue the same thing, but for ladder, right? Like it's yeah.
Well, I'm also a ladder hater. Like
you can learn something from laddering. Is the thing.
Ladder, they're actually playing the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, shiny hunting is I'm going to sit here for 20 hours and nothing's going to happen, but at the end it'll be fun.
Yes! Sometimes these streams, like, I don't know, they feel so like centered around. Well, obviously they're centered around the shiny, but it's literally 7 hours of sitting there, spinning in a circle, and then you're not even guaranteed a clip of like
or one encounter, and then like or like you get that one reaction, but that's it.
Farming on Twitter.
I mean, it's mostly when people watch it because they find the person who is like streaming it entertaining. I think they'll mostly join for the personality of the streamer.
You know what's really good? You know what's really good content? Singles content.
Ironically, yes.
I do appreciate singles content.
Ew, this got gross. Yeah.
No, like any of you VGC players out there who haven't dabbled in singles, it is like a lot of it, like at first, like you may stealth rocks, switching in and out, but like it is genuinely. I agree with Separate. It is some of the best content ever.
Also, I think the dudes are really funny. Like the creators themselves are really, really good.
Oh yeah, the creators are good. I just think singles is yucky.
But just how you can enjoy VGC and like just like Pokemon, you don't have to understand what's going on. Mm-hmm. You just see cool Pokemon doing cool things.
It's also really funny how stuff from singles like Yon Dozo and the Stealth Rock Tinglu are like now a thing. It's so funny.
Well, like I saw Nails was a singles player, right?
Yeah, no, Nails has been playing since like RBY. Like
like
is the OU in his name actually just overused? Like
yes.
Okay, that's how I was thinking.
Yeah, I think he's like an OU player. He was an OU player first.
Yes.
Yeah, he said 10 or 5 years before he started VGC. So.
Yeah. So like, obviously he's very good, but like,
we kind of just shat on like shiny hunting streamers for a good minute there.
Yeah.
We should. If you do that,
we can also okay. No, I was gonna say disclaimer that like. Good for you that you do that.
It's not our thing. It's not our thing.
It's not our thing.
Yeah,
because I'll be the first one to shit on VGC content as well.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I cannot watch a ladder stream. Like people who ladder, yes, you learn something out of it.
There are people who just stare at the camera and don't do anything.
Yes.
Yes.
If you're not that person,
Yeah, I think if you are entertaining and put on a good show while like shiny hunting, like that's fine. But I'm shitting on people who don't do anything besides shiny hunt. Yes. Like I think that's a little different.
Yeah, I mean the people who are drawing massive views on these shiny hunting streams
are entertaining.
Fantastically entertaining, and huge shout out to them for being able to entertain people while doing something effectively so boring. Yeah. It's really impressive, to be honest.
And honestly, that's what I was gonna say about like VGC ladder too. Is like kudos to the people who are able to just ladder and then like make it entertaining. Because sometimes I can't ladder myself. Like it is insanely difficult.
I saw Paul do no face cam, no audio, and just ladders.
Yeah, he just ladders. Yeah.
Well, when he does go live,
and he gets like crazy viewers too.
I think VGC ladder is a little different because like you have all the VGC tryhards just going and watching the top players play to learn something, and like 90% of what the top players do is the same as what you do. So it's like it feels kind of pointless.
That's true. I think that's like an off-topic thing, but I think a lot of players are like the top players read every turn perfectly, and the reality is they just go for the safest play most of the time, and that's why they're top players.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they just do like 90% of all players play the same, and it's like that 10% is what separates like the good players from the top players.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Yeah.
So. Base take. That's our what are we gonna call it? We can't call it a top take. We have to call it a
mic take.
This whole
mic moment.
Mic drop.
Mic moment. Yeah.
Mic drop.
That's his mic drop.
Mic drop?
Yeah, like mic
drop take.
Mic drop.
Okay, it was fine there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Can we talk about the soundboard? Like, who at Discord decided that was a good idea?
This is amazing. I love it.
No. Okay. No more. Actually.
No more. Please.
No more. Okay. That's enough. But yeah. All right. What are we?
That's how you know he's still 17.
Okay. Yeah. Mic drop.
Yeah, that's the mic drop of
and the week. Us shitty on shiny hunting streamers is the mic moment of the podcast.
What? You're
that's
just
the
like
mic drop.
That's not a drop.
That's a real mic.
That's not mic
certified mic moment.
Yeah.
All right, then mic drop. Be like.
Okay. I think. Oh yeah, we're talking about like Dragonite sets in EUIC before we.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
When
Sorry about that.
No, that's the point of the podcast. We're gonna,
We'll figure out a what's
it
called a structure. Yeah.
Eventually.
So, yeah, like I said, I can make this as structured as we want.
Yeah.
Figure it out. This is the first episode.
I watch a lot of podcasts, and like they say, it takes like 100 episodes for you to get good at it.
Yeah. Yeah, so, we can be like H3. We gotta get.
We have 99 more to go.
Yeah, 99 more to go, and then
we're at 1%.
This will actually be good. Stick around, everyone. Okay, back to like EUIC, I guess, because
Max Speed Dragonite is gonna take off.
Yes.
Max Speed Dragonite.
Unironically,
it already has with.
It already has.
Yeah, like
Nails started it. I think though he was the first. He is jolly. He was like jolly, like actual Max Speed.
Please don't do that. That's bad.
That worked for him.
I agree.
I don't care.
But at the same time, he also used stealth rocks and stuff, so he's different. So.
Bro, Nails is using
I think the team used for that tournament though is pretty valid. Like, it's a good strategy. Like, if you're
you have to remember a lot of this stuff is very.
I've gotten messed up by it a couple times in the IC. Like, it's very hard to manage.
Sure.
I guess. That's fine.
Well, especially because I'm using 2 hyper offense teams, which is kind of the problem. If I had like Palance, I'd probably be fine.
I mean, I guess, but like, I don't know. I just feel like Nails' team is so passive that only Nails can play it, and like, I'm not sure if like most people can use stuff like Jolly, Max Speed, Dragonite with no bulk and multi-scale. It makes you like super weak to intimidate, and you're already pretty weak to intimidate with multi-scale Dragonite.
The 1200 showdown Timmy's can.
Yeah.
The 1200 showdown Timmy's.
The 252 go away. They invented it.
Bro.
My God.
Nails is a goat though, so I think he can use anything.
Yes.
I think that's objective.
like
Is
playing
he going
singles.
to EUIC?
I'm not sure. But I was gonna say like playing singles gives you like a tolerance to like being that patient and playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Oh,
he has,
100%.
yeah, he can like tolerate.
Some people
like,
do not have
like playing a slow game.
Yeah.
Like I tried that team, I could not play it. I went 2-3 in my local yesterday.
I think with that team, you gotta like look multiple turns ahead, which is something VGC players can't do because their games are literally 3 turns long.
Ouch.
And it's like singles players are just good at that.
Yeah,
I've seen a lot of
definitely true.
I've seen a lot of singles player get good at VGC quite fast.
Frieza is another good
Frieza,
example.
yeah.
And then there's Michael, the best.
Michael, yeah. I know what you mean, yeah. He's been doing, well, like you have some sort of like online tournament letter
what's his like slogan name?
Like he's just been like farming the online
Michael
course.
the best or something like that.
And then
he just used Talent Tusk, right?
Yeah, he's just playing Talent Tusk all of Series 2, and he got top 8 at both of them, and I think he went 10-4 at Utrecht.
That's crazy. That actually is insane.
That's really good.
Yeah. So like,
that's kind of what happened in North America with like the Yotam Solar or Justin Carroll's group. They just played Talent Tusk all over, and they got good results almost every time.
Well, that's a different conversation between new players. That's more of a team like this is the call. Like we're going to grind this out. And I've been saying this since the beginning of like the format, like even in Series 1, it's a very player diff format. And that like if you pick a team and stick with it, like all the Don Bozos, like they've innovated the Glim stuff and they've stuck with it. And they've consistently, like another good example is Marcus Dion has day 2'd almost every single event he's gone to because he's stuck with Don Dozo. And sure, like for example, a lot of us here have been like switching teams each time because we want to pick one and we're indecisive. But like if I feel like if we stuck with one, like if we had stuck with our Orlando team, for example, we literally would have came to the conclusion that Justin did, for example, and had those 6 because I think we literally had those 6.
Don't you mean you're the one that's been changing teams all the time?
We have 2 players in this call.
It's not just me. It's not just me.
I'd say I also had an issue with that, but I think for specifically Fort Wayne, I just decided to stop being indecisive and pick balance because, like,
look how we did.
Yeah, because that's the only team I had played with, so like I had no other choice. Like I felt like I'd probably just be able to player everywhere. That's what I did. I won every mirror. I fissured the Dozo player. Sorry if you're listening to this. That's also
he's not actually sorry.
Yeah, I'm not actually sorry.
Deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, kid.
Speaking of like the new player thing, everyone got so good in Gen 9. It's kind of crazy. Like even the new players are all just so good. Like back in
big part is because of Open Team Sheet.
Yeah, I agree. Like back in Gen 8, I remember like I don't know, like everyone was like most people were just like mid. I mean, including myself, of course, but like
me too.
Yeah, like everybody was mid except for like there's 10, 15 players, which everyone knew were like super good. And now just like literally anyone can win regionals, and like the best example is like Justin Tang, who like goes to 3 regionals and wins 2 and gets top 16 in the other. So like,
I think it's also in a healthy state though, because it's like it's not like only new players are winning. That'd be a silly game. It'd be a silly game and like what's the word?
I would call uncompetitive, but like
exactly. It would be uncompetitive if it was just anyone can win, right? But the reality is the majority of players winning are still these players who've been playing for a decade, right? I think that's a very healthy state of the game where a new player can come and win, but the likelihood is if you put time into the game, you're gonna win more often. I think that's healthy. Game state.
And also just like
the main difference. Go ahead.
What?
Or I'll finish. Okay. The main difference between like this format and obviously the open sheets, because the main I think difference between the new players and the old players that was preventing this sort of consistency, it was like a knowledge gap. When you go into it, and if you've been playing for 10 years and you know what everything does, as opposed to having to explain to someone, oh yeah, so this Pokemon can have X amount of sets, so each of them could be good, and you have to count for all of them, as opposed to open sheets, of course, obviously. Just going, okay, this is their team, how do I play around it? So the bar for entry is so much lower that allows people to practice it to a greater extent and actually become like consistent at it.
Yeah, in general, I think it's easier to get good at the game fast in this gen than last gen, or just previous gens in general.
Any gen, yeah.
And that goes back to what we were talking about way earlier. It's like the amount of information that we have.
Yeah,
like
the information
being able
game,
to understand what EVs, IVs are, and have a team by the end of a 20-minute video is insane for any competitive game. Like if there are some TCGs, right? Like for Yu-Gi-Oh, for example. I mean, Alex, you can test
man.
this. Like,
yeah.
It's sometimes you watch a deck profile and it's like, what is going on?
Yeah, it's like you have to read like so many paragraphs of text, and then it's like there's so many like niche combos too, or like niche interactions. Like, oh, can I like does this negate Nibiru or something like that? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Like Master Duel, I felt was like a really good way to like get me into the game more because I only had like a very basic deck, but like and I learned a lot about like just like the now I know what everything does, right? Like I know what Ash Blossom does, I know what Crossout Decimator does. Yeah, I mean like it's just like tools like that like kind of even the playing field, and it's kind of nice.
I think it's still really awesome that like it's still Wolfie winning, it's still Eric winning, it's still like Azazel, he won his first regional. Like I think it's still awesome that you have the goats, still winning, but I think I'm just repeating my old point. But, I'm like,
it's okay.
I don't know. I just think it's awesome that you can have Wolf win a regional, and then the next tournament it's Justin Tang. It's really cool.
Yeah.
And obviously, like Justin Tang is like extremely good. So like it's not.
He deserves it, exactly. That's facts.
Yeah, it's not just like new players win because they're new. It's just like whoever is good can win.
Bro.
Like it's not really about and I think it's why like everyone's been like so tilted recently about the international challenge because it's like the first time we're playing close sheets in a while, and it's just like it's hard to go back. It's
bound to happen. Like it's just it's gonna happen in close sheet stuff. Like it happened. It happens every IC.
It does. Yeah. It's almost it's just a ritual at this point. Like.
No, I think the biggest reason for that, so what Tyson said earlier, is when you play close team sheet in general, you know about the existence of like 4 or 5 different sets, so you're prepared for all of them. Well, now you're only prepared because the open sheet for only like one set. So if anything else happens, you'll be caught off guard very fast.
It's 100% one of those skill sets that has been lost, especially in the new players who never learned it to begin with. So that's why I think you see in the IC, the newer the player is, I think probably the less consistent they're doing in this competition, just because of no practice playing this kind of format. Like ladder is kind of the same, but it's really not, because the IC people care a lot more about, I think. And also you have to deal with all of the Japanese players going absolutely insane.
Well, we can also talk about
some random Japanese player, and then I didn't know this Pokemon can do this. My bad, I lose, right? Whereas the people who've been playing and prepared is like, okay, how do I deal with something that could do anything? And then they play around it like that, and that's how you see these insane IC results from players like Paul, for example.
And I think there is a little bit of an argument, not to shit on like every IC player ever, but this time around we didn't even talk about it, but the IC has higher stakes now. Like they have actual stakes. Like there's no longer 5 CP on the line. It's 160 for first place, half a world's invite for a master.
Yeah.
Which is insane to think about.
And now, that's why people are even more tilted, right?
Like, because there's actual points on the line for this.
It's not just a global mid-season where it's like, I get little like I get points here and there, like that's cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of you ever thought about this, but you can qualify for Worlds without going to a single in real life event.
Yeah.
Theoretically.
You win both.
You win both ICs, or even if you're from Europe or other regions, you need like 250. If you win one and get like top 4 in the other, you might just have your Worlds invite, and then you have never been to an IRL, which is kind of crazy to qualify for Worlds.
That is very crazy.
And if you get like top 8 in 3, that in all 3, then you're just in. And if you're at NA. Yeah. So going imagine someone qualifying for Worlds without it going to a single like live tournament's kind of crazy, but like what are they gonna do at Worlds? Unless they're already experienced, like it's gonna be really difficult to like top cut or like win worlds, let alone make day 2 if you haven't played a single live event.
That's kind of true, but also, as we were talking about earlier, with all of the new players coming in and being able to do super well, I think if you're able to get first place in the IC, right, that bar has probably already been passed. Maybe it's, I can't go to any live events because I don't really have the time off from work or stuff like that. And so there are definitely these players that could do really well at live events, but just don't have the opportunity to attend. And then if they show up in the IC, for example, get there in there and do that, that's a really cool opportunity. They're like, maybe I'll go to a live event. And in this case, it's World, so the stakes are a bit higher. But maybe that's the intro of them getting to live events and then introducing to us some insane player that we just haven't heard of at live event because they haven't been into them. So that would be super cool if it happened, but we'll have to see how it actually turns out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, honestly, it's kind of exciting. Just think about someone qualifying for Worlds off of just best of 1, because yeah, I feel like there's this big best of 3 mentality. Like there's this big best of 1 versus best of 3 mentality that like, especially in the West, is like really bad. Like a lot of people just disregard best of 1 as like a real skill and say, oh, I don't need to play best of 1. Best of 3 is just like, it's the only real way of playing Pokemon. It's just,
I've heard though from a lot of Japanese or just people in Asia who have like the different circuit where like close team sheet and best of 1 is still a thing. They, for example, Maluka, I heard him say, or someone told me that he said he doesn't approach best of 1 close team sheet a lot different than best of 3 open sheets.
Yeah, and that's honestly how like I think you should approach it. Like it's not really too different. Like it's the same game. It's just that there's information differences.
The information game.
Yeah, like the core of it's the same. It's the exact same.
I'm sorry, I'm not paying attention to what's going on because of
we were ranting about the IC for like the past.
Yeah. Do we want to talk about what Zeke just sent in general chat? Perhaps. I think that's a very good topic.
Am I lying? Like they give it like bedroom eyes.
I would.
Okay. So y'all listening for context.
Oh no.
There was a picture posted.
I'm gonna put it on the screen.
Of Fluttermane.
No, don't, please don't.
No.
To which Zeke responded, and I quote, "Fluttermane Loki has those fuck me eyes." So
very sus.
Oh no.
Very, very sus.
Yeah. Are we voting Zeke?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm the
Zeke, what do you
host.
have to say for yourself?
Can't kick me out. I run this whole show.
It's named Podcast Mike, so just he can take over.
So true.
I don't want. I think we just tie the vote. We just we go to electrical next. You know.
All right. Okay.
Things like that. Yeah. Okay. This is definitely not IC related at all.
Yo, we have so many people. We could play. We have to play Among Us after this.
No.
Yes.
That's
I'm
probably
gonna watch live League of Legends instead. That would be more entertaining.
Oh no.
No.
LCS Finals C9 versus Golden.
Oh, I'm not watching that. That'll be a stomp. My school's running an invitational this weekend in person, so that's a cool event going on.
Nice.
Yeah. Sven, will you watch
seen
League of Legends or play Among Us with us?
Among Us with you.
I'm seeing the glitch on Twitter, the one that they don't have their other Pokemon. Like, why does that happen?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Because the game is broken.
Wait, so how do you win that? Do you just win on like your time? Like, do you just click on your moves and like?
I think it goes to time provider from people where you just need to make sure you click your moves faster than your opponent.
But technically, don't they have Pokemon? Like, what if it's 2v3, but then their Pokemon aren't being sent out? Actually, wait, that can't happen because.
No, they lose on your time. Like, I'm assuming it has something to do with them either disconnecting or like.
I
don't know. We never see anybody on the other end, right? Like where they have no Pokemon.
Yeah, that's true. This is all a conspiracy. We've never seen the other side.
Yeah.
I find it funny how we're still finding new bugs with this game.
I don't think it's even a new bug. I think it's like an old bug. It's just people are noticing
that. It just came up again. Yeah.
Imagine if they never patched the fissure bug. Whereas the seeded fissures.
You lead Iron Hand's Shenpao and then just go like sheer cold. It's so fucking annoying.
If anyone doesn't know the context for that, there was a seeding issue with the RNG in the game. So you would
The seed was zero,
miss
always.
miss your sheer cold, and then you would guarantee hit it every single time after that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, the series one, but that was so stupid.
Yeah, that's normally done in programming during testing, if you're wondering why that happens. But like, yeah,
Nerd Bob.
Fuck you. I'm a CS guy.
No, I think like game development is like really interesting to know about. Because like just general gamers, like they don't really understand what it takes to like develop a game. They just say all this stuff like, oh, they're lazy. Oh, why did they do
no,
this?
No, I think that's a bit right. Yeah, like there's obviously to be completely honest and fair. I think Game Freak was a little lazy, and they should have realized like, hey, we left this bug in here, this RNG seeding stuff. Like that's on them, right? But they patched it quickly, so I don't think it was.
I think game development is difficult, but Game Freak is also lazy. Yeah, you're right about that one.
They write like one line of code a day, and they're like, all right, go home.
No, I mean with like those deadlines, like I just find it insane that like Legends Arceus and then Scarlet and Violet came out within the same year.
And like Gen 10 is like in development right now, like for sure.
Oh yeah, it's cooking right now.
Yeah, it's cooking.
I believe you mean the Gen 5 remix, but
I don't think we're getting Gen 5 remix.
Surely
we will.
No, I mean not like immediately. I think they're gonna wait a gen and just give us like Gen 5 remix next gen.
I think Arceus and BDSP were like our remakes for the while, and then after like GS,
which is a shame.
Yeah, well, Legends Arceus was a pre-make.
Well, I guess.
Yeah,
but it's still coming back in the region.
Yeah. That's what Pokemon officially calls Legends Arceus, a pre-make.
Wait, really? I think you like made that up.
No, I didn't make that up. Like that's something they literally called it on like Instagram or something. Like when they were advertising it. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean that's what it is. Like it's just the
I get it. It's just I never really thought about like calling it that.
Yeah.
It's just like another game set in Sinnoh.
I thought it was cool, and I'm really looking forward to Hisuian Gujar when it comes out. But we get it for BGC.
Yeah, I really love Legends Arceus.
I think that's probably Regulation D, by the way. We might get genies as well, like any Pokemon that is legal through Pokemon Home.
Mm. Oh yeah, home ones. I hope we don't get Incineroar back. Like
no, Incineroar is not in the game currently.
That's good.
I think Hisuian Samurot's gonna be pretty good. Like Water Dark, like it basically fucks Golden Go, and also like
a lot of things already do. So
no, it's just another thing to add to the list. Also, Hisuian Decidueye is really slow, but Triple Arrows is a pretty nutty move.
Yeah, they gave Mons like some nutty like signature moves.
Yeah,
like what is the not a Weavile, the Hisuian?
Oh, Sneasler. It gets paralyzed or poison or something, right?
Yeah, it's like a stupid move.
That's so dumb. It's so stupid.
It's just Tri-Attack all over again. Yeah.
No, it's worse. It's 50% chance to burn, paralyze, or like freeze or something. Or, like,
what's Tri-Tackle?
Or sleep.
Tri-Attack? Oh, he is
Tri-Attack. I think it's Tri-Tackle.
It's Tri-Tackle, yeah.
Yeah, no, Tri-Tackle.
Dude, Porygon 2 saves this format, by the way.
I love Porygon 2. I'm a HO player too, and I just love
I love the duck.
Incineroar would have solved Series 2 in because then you would say, oh, fuck, precise one.
Tio got me addicted to Hyper Offense Porygon 2 with like the Hyper Beam Ally Switch stuff. It was funny.
I love that set so much.
Yeah. Oh, with Analytic. Yeah, that was so funny.
Yes. Oh.
You max strike or Terra. You max strike and just murder everything.
The only sad part was that max strike made Analytic harder to get off the multiple turns. But, other than that,
you need it sometimes.
Yeah, it was so much fun.
But I definitely think we'll definitely see a bit more Hisuian Samurott because we're really lacking in like water types, like good water types.
100%. We got two. We got Palafin and we got Bundle, and that's it.
Are we getting Milotic later? It wasn't like
no, we have Gyarados now. Like Gyarados is
still mid.
Shut up.
I wouldn't say it's
legit. Like it's a thing now. I would say at least.
It's definitely something you should respect, but it's not like the best water type. Best water type is Amoonguss. Well, actually, Palafin is up there for sure.
I don't know. Amoonguss Winterra Water does get one shot by Iron Moth Discharge, so.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah, all those iron moths out there.
True.
Okay, so we're running about an hour and a half of recording. Do we want to stop here?
I think it's a good time to,
Okay, or unless someone wanted to say something else.
I just heard that United actually tied up, so they're not relegated.
Nice.
Good for Unite.
Good for
MPA
United,
stuff.
your old team.
Yay.
That I fucked over.
It's okay.
Unintentionally.
It's okay.
It's just funny. It's like my one match. It's like, oh, sorry guys.
I guess that's it.
Mm-hmm. All right, that's episode 1 of Podcast Mics.
Thank you for listening.
Yay.
Yay!
Yes.
Comment down below something. I don't know. Give us engagement.
Oh yeah, leave a comment on your thoughts on who is going to win the EUIC or who is going to win the IC, who is going to win EUIC. Give us your mic drops in the comments.
Wait, what platform is this on? Is
Mic drops are so fire.
Okay.
This is going on YouTube.
No. Okay, we can also get this on Spotify too. Like, it's not that hard.
True. We could get this on Spotify.
Yeah, we can. Do you still pay for that? I don't know how that works.
You just have to be a registered artist.
Ask them.
Mike.
I can help set it up.
Yeah, we can figure that out later. I was gonna handle the YouTube side of things.
Yeah.
And you can enjoy the podcast on whatever place you listen to your podcasts at. And then we can get a Blue Apron sponsor.
Yeah, we're gonna, when this blows up, we're gonna monetize the show out of this. So please expect sponsors in about 20 episodes.
20 years. 20 years.
This episode is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
Mm-hmm.
Yo.
Okay, if Marco Fierro can get sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends, we can get sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
Everyone can get
Shadow
sponsored by
Legends.
Raid.
Please sponsor us.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes. Yeah. Or I think, as we said, Blue Apron, Grubhub. All these food races. We were always talking about cooking. It would be a great way to advertise.
That'll be something good to talk about next time. Let's talk about cooking. I would love
True cooking episode. Oh, so much fun stuff to cook.
We will be sponsored by the Pokemon Company International.
I wish.
In 2050, sure.
Yeah.
2050.
But thank you for listening, everybody.
Yes.
This was fun. This was a fun conversation.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Bye.
I think this is the host job to close it out.
Yeah, let me.
My bad.
Zeke, do your thing. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Again, thank you for listening, everyone. Comment down below, give us engagement. Expect another episode. I'm not sure when, but
Tomorrow.
yes, tomorrow. Bye, everyone. Have a good day.